You're watching Nappicast by Jason Nappy Weather. I'm tracking the hints of summer, a summer preview just in time for the solstice. Right now, we've got cloud cover over Texas, a lot of showers and thunderstorms, clearing going on back east. Cold front is through, the sun is coming up. Okay, and there's going to be a ridge of high pressure come through, a weak one that's going to try and suppress some of this moisture for Father's Day weekend down to the south here as we get into especially Saturday and Sunday. But this is a pretty weak high pressure system, so I think the rain's going to win for the most part. We'll get into all that in the forecast. I'll talk about the Father's Day weekend, especially here, where there will be showers around. So let me advance this a bit and put this into Friday, Saturday, and now here is Saturday morning. So you see here shower activity, basically split state for Maine all the way down to New York City, okay? We're clear for the desert southwest. They're going to cook. It's going to be hot. And the mid-south has got showers, thunderstorms back to the Mississippi River Valley, the Ohio Valley. Okay, you've got showers, thunderstorms on Saturday. So that's Saturday. And then I'm going to put the map into motion into Father's Day. So this is Sunday now, Sunday afternoon. And there are still lingering showers here for a good eastern, about a third of the country. Okay, you still have shower activity, but no big storms. The weather highway in the jet stream is not tapping into a lot of moisture in the mid levels of the atmosphere, okay? So it's not going to bring a lot of moisture in. So that's some good news, especially for the southeast and east coast where it has been the wettest of the last 365 days, right? All the drought is pretty much gone, okay? And then next week, okay, here's where things are going to turn just a bit. So by next week, we'll call it the June 19th, June 20th. The solstice is the 20th. It's late at night on the 20th, okay? Notice how things dry out in the west coast, desert southwest here, and there are pop-ups in the southeast. So I want to show you the temperatures here going forward nationwide. Into the next few days, the extreme heat will be where you expect it to be in the desert southwest, back towards the southern plains. We'll be back in the 80s and 90s here. And then this is by Thursday and Friday. Watch what happens here. Okay, this is Thursday, June 19th here. And you have high pressure set up in the southwest. I could even change this to some yellow so you can really see this color here. Okay, and around this ridge, you've got heat that's pumping in. Okay, and even in the southeast, 90s, Florida, which rarely gets to 100 because of all the humidity in the air, they'll make a run there. Okay, and then you have that heat building, okay, into the 20th and 21st, okay, before the front finally arrives and cools things down for June 25th. So what you have here is a big ridge of high pressure. This is June 20th. Let me put this back over to black so we can see it. June 20th. Here is one of the models depiction of the ridge in the southeast here. This is for the end of next week here. Here's your jet stream, right? This is where all the action is. And with this, this is a little bit of a break in the pattern. Now, not all the models agree on this and the placement of that high, but if you go into June 24th, okay, here's even farther out. Here is your ridge, okay, and this would all be heat coming in towards the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, a little cooler out here in the Pacific Northwest, upper Midwest. But around that, you've got heat. Now, that's the long-range look at things. That's June 24th. But there are some hints here, especially after the solstice, that we do see more of a typical summer pattern. Jet stream retreats north, and we get a ridge building towards the south. Now, around that ridge, if we're talking about mid to late June, you get dew points 60s and widespread 70s, which you don't typically see in northern New England until maybe later July or August, but it does happen. So here you've got your transport of all that hot, humid weather coming in. So 70s for dew points all the way up into Maine, okay, widespread south of that around that ridge. And that would be just a lot of moisture coming into the air, right? It's going to feel very heavy, even though it's very light. It's because your body, when it goes to perspire, where you go to sweat, there's so much moisture that your body has a very difficult time trying to release that moisture in your body. So the air feels heavy, even though it is actually hot and light. It just has more moisture into it. So that's a little fun fact or not so fun fact about dew point and humidity, a little chat about that. So let's take a look at the forecast now in more detail as I zoom into New England and Maine just a bit. I thank my loyal followers there for following along as I gave the national outlook. Warm and a little humid today. Then a front comes through tomorrow to bring the humidity back down. So 50s for humidity in Maine. It's a little humid. We can feel it in Maine, but that's nothing, by way of the country. But that is the way it is in Maine. Now, the wildfire smoke is going to return because of that jet stream to the north is going to pull some of that. Some upper level lows is going to pull that, and even around the high too a little bit, but the lows pull it even more. With weekend showers in the forecast again for, I don't know, the 13th, 14th, or 15th. Some people are saying it goes back even farther than that. At this point, I can't really doubt you because it has been the weekends, while not all of them have been washouts, at times we have been showery for quite some time, more than a dozen. 71 for Wednesday in the mountains, 67, 63. There are going to be showers around. Notice how we cool off in the mountains, okay? That's where the air is coming from the north for the most part. Today it's from the south, so it'll be a little warmer, but when the air comes from the north, even this time of the year, unless it's coming from the west, around that ridge, which would be late next week, we'll see how strong that ridge is going to be. Right, but the key for next week, for that Thursday, Friday next week, for the solstice time frame is going to be how strong is the ridge. So right now I've got mid-80s late next week. It could be 90s. It really depends how strong that ridge is going to build. For today and tomorrow, we're right around 80. There'll be a few showers around tomorrow, not a lot. Most of it mountains, central highlands, and north. And then we cool down for the weekend with a little bit of a trough coming through. Then next week gets pretty nice if you like it on the mild side. You like it warm. Now, the coastline, because of the land breeze, will be around 80 for a couple of days. And then on Friday, the onshore flow is 68. So that's the difference between when you get the wind out of the south or southwest, like today is west-southwest, land breeze versus onshore flow. Showers the weekend. I wouldn't cancel your plans, but there definitely will be showers. And then next week, we'll see how much we can heat up around that ridge. So the latest forecast is on Nappicast.com. Make sure you have your cell phone and you put the location in. Make sure it's turned on. It'll show the location for anywhere you are. And then obviously I have a focus in on Maine right now. So I thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.